Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today we have got another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 build video for you. And today we are going to be looking at a monk build. Haven't come up with a name for it. I probably will at some point throughout this video. Now this monk is based off of a character my friend played years back. And a big reason why I like the monk so much. But anyway, so this build is basically a flat monk with just monk levels. Now, there is more to it than just that, though. For instance, this build it is a human monk, but it's also a dragonborn of Bahamut. You want to grab that at some point along the line. Get yourself, some wings to get yourself a fly speed, which will of course stack with your monk level, your monk speed boost, so you can fly quite fast. Being able to maneuver pretty much anywhere is pretty nice, especially since you will be able to do it like in an anti-magic field, like even when magic isn't an option, like you can still fly. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's ways to do that with like mounts and whatnot, but still, not a bad option, especially with high fly speed and just being able to go quick. So another big thing with this is Vow of Poverty. So this build, you don't want to start off with Vow of Poverty, because there's some things that you might want to grab first. Yeah, you're going to get less feats, but you only need like 2 or 3, so it's really not a big deal. So yeah, grabbing a few things first isn't bad. Like one thing, I know my friend, when he got it, he got a dragon tail grafted on so that he could get that extra tail slap attack as part of his full round attack option to hit harder. Some other options are, enlarged person is definitely not a bad option in order to get those damage dice up a bit, as well as hit a bit harder. Definitely worth it a bit. I mean, that's normally a good thing, but with the monks' unarmed dice already being so high, they scale. Like it stacks a bit. Like yeah, it's pretty nice. You definitely gain a lot more with the larger damage dice of the monk by being larger. So that's not a bad option, doing that in permanency. Maybe grabbing a few manuals and tomes in order to get some of those stats up. Although once you get Epic Vow of Poverty, that can get even, you can kind of make up for some of that. Now, Epic Vow of Poverty, there's no actual raw for it, but of course, that's one of those things that really should have some. You really should try and do some homebrew something, because if you're doing Vow of Poverty, to suddenly have it just disappear once you hit Epic and gain nothing for it, that's pretty bad. And honestly, as a DM, I would absolutely allow some form of homebrew thing to go for that one, just because. And I think other DMs should, although it's really up to them. But anyways, back to this build itself. Yeah, pretty simple. Some of the advantages are, you can fly. You hit with all your attacks count as adamantine. They're going to count as lawful and good for overcoming damage reduction, which is pretty nice. They're also going to count, of course, as magic weapons. You're going to have some pretty good spell resistance. You're not going to have to worry about eating, sleeping, drinking, eating, sleeping, or breathing, which is pretty nice. Eating, drinking, or breathing. If you take a single level of Tattooed Monk and grab the Ocean Tattoo, you can tack on sleeping as well, which is pretty nice, in all honesty. Although there's a lot of stuff that doesn't overlap with that. So whether it's worth it or not is questionable. So yeah, it's not a bad build. I know my friend did take the Ocean Tattoo. He regretted it a bit after he discovered Vow of Poverty, because he didn't realize that one till later. But yeah, It's a fairly simple, clean build, not a whole lot to it. I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, Monk in Vow of Poverty isn't good. I've had this debate with a number of people, and I kind of see their point, but there are some reasons for it. Like, there's a certain amount of synergy that it has, and on top of that, Vow of Poverty just kind of makes you basically immune to like the disjunction spell. I mean, if you have buffs cast on you, you lose those, but that's not something you're going to be having a whole lot. And oh, my gear got broken. My gear's no longer magic. You don't have gear. So, I mean, okay, you might have a quarterstaff. That is like one weapon that you're allowed. You are allowed a walking staff, and it basically is a non-magical mundane quarterstaff. Which would work for, which is a monk weapon. So, I mean, you could use it. It wouldn't be a key focus weapon, which is something you would want as a monk, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so this build is fairly stat heavy, but especially with the version of Epic Vow of Poverty that I found, you end up getting most of your stats buffed anyways once you get into epic levels, so that kind of works out. Now, that was the version I found. Like, there's whether or not that's a legit version of Vow of Poverty, I mean, it's technically not really. Like, it is homebrew, but you know, you got to find something, and you got to find like the most legit homebrew one you can find is really how I would say you should do things with something like that. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this build. It's pretty simple. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Don't roast me too hard, because I mean, I understand that there are some underpowered aspects, but there is a certain amount of synergy, and there are some things that work. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, some of the things that do work with it are things like, you know, if you happen to be taken prisoner and, you know, all your gears are removed, this build's really good in that situation. Yes, it's situational, sure, but in that situation, it can be really helpful. It also can be super helpful in other situations where, like, my friend, he decided to, you know, infiltrate the enemy's base by sneaking in as a prisoner, which, you know, easy enough to do with this build, because, hey, guess what? You're a prisoner. You get like, you have to lose all your stuff, and with this build, like, you can easily do that without sacrificing literally anything, and you can go in at full strength. So there are definitely reasons to do this. Like, it can be very, very helpful in a lot of situations. Yeah, in straight combat, okay, sure, but monks aren't designed for straight combat anyways. They are designed to be more utilitarian. So, anyways, now I think that really is all. Again, comments below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. Maybe subscribe for more awesome D&D 3.5 videos. Ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. But anyways, as always, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you